Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Those Guys with your host Matt Marrero along with your other host.
Your very own God of Destruction, Tristan Walter.
Yes, of course. I mean, you wish you rocked that stash. You wish you had a mustache like that.
Well, I think the actual question is, Matt, does that make you the angel, or...
I don't know what, man. I don't know what anything makes anything anymore based on... So, for this and a Saturday, Tristan and I are talking about Dragon Ball Super episodes 124 to 126. We're doing these a lot closer to each other now, not basically because it's ending soon. And we really don't want to feel like we don't want to do them week to week because we think that's a little bit too much for us to just kind of go nuts on for, an hour, hour and a half. But we're going to do definitely two starting at this point, after these three. But yeah, it's, we're winding down to the end of the tournament, obviously winding up. Right? It's not like it's, in any way becoming more calm. Right? It's like we're winding down things here. Everything's fucking exploding. The ring is being destroyed.
We have 4 minutes left.
4 minutes left. Yeah, I'm happy. Oh, by the way, so one thing I want to mention before we complain, before we talk about what we like and what we dislike and everything, I want to say that, and I've said this before, but I still believe it bears repeating. This show it does a very good job of making me forget that they're supposed to all meet up for that tournament where they meet Oob in a year or two. This tournament. No, and it's not, hear me out. I'm not saying that they can't lose, even though I know it's Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball. But what I mean more so is that I did sit there and think, is Vegeta going to die?
Yeah, right?
I got to admit, it did do that to me. So, now, the sad thing is, I think I was spoiled based on Vegeta dying, quote-unquote not dying, and... Gohan being eliminated, but I had forgotten that I was spoiled. So as it's going on, I'm like, is this happening right now? Is Vegeta gonna die?
I mean, I was very surprised that they pulled out that move to be the thing, his finisher, because kind of felt like a move. I'm only gonna do that once, cause fuck that.
But that's the point. I think that was the point. It's just, what else can I do to take this guy down? You know that move you've only done once because it's literally going to kill you?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Oh.
No. Well, it's funny because...
Goku just looks over. Okay, Vegeta, I need you to do me a solid. Sure, all right, fine, Kakarot, let's hear it. I need you to kill yourself. What?
Rude. Well, that's rude.
Yeah, it's just wow, Kakarot, I never thought you had it in you to actually say it to my face. Huh.
Jesus Christ. Can you imagine Goku? You tried to kill me multiple times. Yeah, me killing you, not you killing yourself. Just wrong.
And it's that was years ago. I figured you've forgotten that by now. I mean, shit, man. Just
multiple
because I want to beat you doesn't... That too. Just because I want to beat you to a bloody pulp doesn't mean I want you dead. I mean, I need something to punch.
Just freezes hello, everyone. Never mind, Kakarot. You can die now.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
But, all right. So, but I got to admit, this show really does a good job of making me forget. Now, I'm not saying the whole universe is going to get destroyed, but it does make you think, will Vegeta die and then be brought back later with, the Super Mega Ultra Dragon Balls?
No, but he has to use those to Wish Bank Universe 6.
Well, it's funny.
Same promise, Matt.
But I gotta be real with... I know, I love that he's still keeping to his word. Of course he would, but I love that he's bringing it up. What's really, my thing is this, though. It's just so funny that, it's Vegeta has to do this. Yeah, because Goku's going to be fuck everyone else. Only us. It's Goku.
Well,
he's already been thinking about this and not saying it. I feel like he had this thought from the very beginning. It's just, why is he going to need to say it when he, they might not win, so no one else might be that kind.
I mean, I guess, but I'd kind of like to hear Goku say it.
No, he's going to say it at the end. It's Goku.
Just to be reminded that, oh yeah, Goku does care. Like, I feel like I need that reminder, Matt.
You know what it is? He's going to... Of course he's going to say it at the end. I just think that it would kind of deflate everything if Goku immediately started off everything with, hey guys, so if we win, everyone's going to be saved. We all know that, right? It kind of doesn't make it mean much for everyone else. Like, we know what's going to happen as fans because it's Dragon Ball and it's Goku and it's Universe 7. They're not out just for themselves. But we can't start off an arc where it's like everyone's going to die. Goku, but what if we make sure that they don't? Like, what does the narrator do? Yeah, what does the narrator say to that? Like, the not as climactic arc. So that's
anyway,
the thing.
Off to episode 131, because apparently somebody has this shit figured out already.
Yeah. but that's basically it. So Goku's going to say that eventually. No worries there, in my opinion. But my whole thing, so talking about these 3 episodes, we had Gohan basically sacrifice himself, not in the dead way, sacrifice himself to save, everyone else in the universe by taking out
Dispo.
Thank you. Dispo. It was so interesting. You know what was interesting about that though?
About Gohan taking out Bugs Bunny?
Well, of course, he was dastardly wabbit, he was. But I just...
Yeah, he was.
My thing is this, though, Tristan, that kind of throws me off, confuses me a little bit. For a split second, it made it seem like that was part of the plan. But, like, was it just Gohan on the fly being like, look, guys, we don't have much else left, and Frieza, because he's cunning, is like, oh, this is actually a good plan. Any plan that allows me to beat up a Saiyan monkey, excellent plan.
Well, it was more of like the idea was for Gohan to knock him off with, Frieza's. Gohan was to wear him down so he wouldn't, and Frieza puts up the energy net so he can't use his Mega Ultra Speed. But
yes.
Gohan wasn't able to finish him off in time, and Frieza lost concentration. Like you said, it's like, this takes a lot of energy to, keep up constantly. You think you could hurry it up in there? And then he lets go.
Yeah, and that didn't happen. And because that didn't happen, Gohan grabs him, and Frieza's like, oh, I see what's going on here.
Yeah,
and then
basically
does the thing. Okay. Yes, because I feel like over the last few episodes, certain things have happened that I'm not saying they shouldn't happen, but it feels like they don't actually explain it. Which I'm not saying we have to do like a Naruto-style breakdown where they take fucking 20 minutes to do one fucking thing.
To have a flashback explanation of what the fuck just happened.
Yeah, we don't need that. No, my thing, not just the flashbacks, although yes, those did happen. Just the whole. I remember watching one episode, and it was something in Shippuden. I can't remember certain names, but it was a big fight. It was something with, I think, Shikamaru, or Shikamaru's not dad, but the point is that it was really frustrating and grating because they had to, do like not shadow clone, but like, shadow mimicking technique stuff. And they just explained every single fucking detail. And by the time it was like, oh, good, so you're about to strike, ending song. And I'm like, and I was like, I'm sticking to the manga. This is the reason why I don't recommend shonen anime to people.
Yeah.
To like new people, like new anime fans. It's very hard to be like, look, it's just a casual 1,000 episodes.
Right.
Anyone can do it, Tristan. Super casual 400 episodes.
Yeah.
So, but back on point. like one of the things that happened, it wasn't obviously in these past 3 episodes, but one thing that, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it was explained properly. It felt like for the longest time, not just throughout this arc, but really throughout Super itself as a whole, including the movies. They were adapted, but the movies are included. With Goku and Vegeta being like, I'm not going to work with you. Yeah, well, I could work with you, but I also like punching the guy by myself. Right? It felt like that was everything for all of Super. And it feels like them teaming up with against Jiren, it's not like they can't do it, but it felt like there was no aha moment. Like there was no, like, I don't want to say a grand speech, but it didn't feel like there was this big moment of like, I guess we have to do this. I guess we do. No, it just kind of felt like, oh shit, Vegeta, you're okay? Fuck you. And then they both just charged Jiren.
Yeah.
Like, which I'm not saying they can't charge Jiren. It just feels like the big moment that you even mentioned last podcast about like, wow, like, you know, this is basically they're following Whis' advice. The big moment where they team up, you know, what Whis has basically been saying throughout the entire fucking series.
Right.
And they put their heads together, and they were actually doing very well against Jiren, both in these episodes and in the one previous where they teamed up. But it's just really frustrating because to me, not super frustrating, but a little bit.
Jiren and Toppo realized, oh shit, we can do that too.
Well, we weren't on a team together for nothing. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Acting like you never worked together before. Yeah. No. But before the splitting apart, I'm just saying that it's so strange to me that they didn't make a bigger deal out of it, at least from, I mean, I think Krillin was kind of like, yeah, they're working together, woo. But it felt like there was no, like, big moment from, like, Whis or Beerus. It kind of just felt like they're, granted, I know everyone's fucking tense. But it feels like maybe they'll reflect on it after, you know, everything's over. They'll be like, see, we told you. All you had to do was work together. But it just felt strange that in a show that's a shonen and very over the top like DBZ is with its team ups and stuff like that, it's interesting how this really seems like it's the first time the two of them are actually teaming up, even in this tournament, sort of.
Right.
Like the big time where it's like, yeah, we're going to team up, we're both going to be blue, and we're both going to get them. And there was just kind of like a, and then they both ran in to do it. Do you feel differently, or?
Yeah, no, I mean, I get what you mean. I guess I feel like that moment can still happen.
Okay.
But, yeah, I feel like it hasn't really happened yet either.
Yeah, that big grand, like, we're working together.
That
we
big
are.
grand realization where their teamwork will.
But, So that was one thing that technically, you know, bled over from 123 into 124. Gohan makes the big sacrifice in 124. Again, not death.
For
but
Frieza.
For Frieza.
For like all the people on the team, he takes the bullet for Frieza. I mean, it's funny. I always talk about how like the eliminations of Universe 7 characters have kind of been annoying me, but like this one I was okay with because it felt like a very Gohan thing to do. Like, oh yeah, of course he would sacrifice himself for somebody else. You know, kind of like how 18 had sacrificed herself to keep 17 in, even though I kind of would have liked to see her get a little more spotlight too, but.
Yes, your thing has been a bit mixed between you want certain people to have more time in the spotlight, in the limelight, but also a combination of that and did this elimination make sense for their character? And I think the big issue with something like you and I, we disagreed. Funnily enough, we disagreed about, you know, all the way back with Krillin. We disagreed with. You know, like, oh, well, he got eliminated. You know, he didn't. I think, even though he got eliminated too early, I think he still got some time. You say no, and sadly, something that I think we both need to realize, something we both didn't realize for the longest time, because this is the first time I'm bringing it up to you, because it just struck me. they really treat Krillin like comic relief to the point where you and I forget that because we think of Krillin, from the I'm gonna fight the bad guys. Even like when he was, when Tambourine killed him. It was Tambourine, I think.
Yeah.
Forgot which one.
Yes.
Even when Tambourine killed him. Still, it was just, how the fuck do I remember that? Jesus H. Christ. How many years has it been? And just out of context, just, he was killed by Tambourine. Just, okay, Grandpa. Just one day my grandkids are going to think I'm fucking crazy. And the little bald one was killed by Tambourine. Okay, get him his medicine.
Oh. Oh, geez.
There was green men, little green men, and he had long hair, and he died. Okay. Or whatever you say, Grandpa.
And then I'll just be in the chair next to you screaming about Frieza or Cell.
Yeah, right? Oh, my God. But yeah, so when it comes, so sadly they've treated him like comic relief for so long, but you and I don't think of him like that. So when he dies that way and everyone's like, Krillin, we're like, no. We like you. But anyway, back to Gohan. I am perfectly fine with him having to sacrifice himself the way that he does because, like you said, it's just something Gohan would do. It just, and it also felt like there was no other option, so it's like, what the fuck are we going to do? If I don't do this, he's going to super speed the heck out of us, and we're all going to be done for.
Yeah.
What I found strange, though, was that I know that it's Jiren, it's Toppo, and then it's Dispo. They're going to have something up their sleeve, I guess, but it feels so strange that they have that much up their sleeve. Like, I forgot, but I guess we have to just assume they're the strongest universe, clearly, out of the ones that are all competing, right? Like, that's confirmed.
Yeah.
It's been so long since they mentioned it. It's pretty much confirmed, yes, that they're the strongest.
I think so, yeah, other than the universes that were exempt from the tournament.
Yeah, fuck them. But
I'm not sure, yeah.
No, I only bring it up because, like, I kind of want to see the daily lives of them. And I know we saw that once, but, like, I really want to see it again because what kind of fucking shit have they gone up against?
Yeah, right.
That makes Majin Buu look like he's freaking, Emperor Pilaf.
That too.
Well, okay, I found one that was worse somehow. I somehow found one. Same size, different destructive ability. But you see what I mean, though, right? Like they make freaking Kid Buu look like what's his name? Shu. Not even Pilaf. Shu.
Right.
His
wolf
/ dog assistant. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that joke that I see online and it makes me laugh every time about Pikkon from the Otherworld tournament. It's filler in Dragon Ball Z and the Buu Saga, but he took out Cell with one kick, he took down Frieza and King Cold. He fought Goku to a standstill in the Otherworld tournament. So my question is, who the fuck killed this guy? That's what it makes me think of, Who the fuck did Universe 11, did the Pride Troopers fight to get this strong?
Yeah, no. Like, it's just insanity.
I mean, it kind of feels like that last line that we hear Jiren talk about, like, oh, you've gained this amount of strength without having to cast anything aside. It's like, so are you saying that you made a deal with Satan for this power? Or, like, is that where we're going with this?
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with Jiren, and I kind of want to know.
Could you imagine? You just see a Majin symbol come up, and it's like, oh, shit! No, that would be terrible.
No, that would make sense, because here's the thing. I thought Jiren was going to be... I thought Jiren was going to be a potential God of Destruction candidate, but it turns out that was Toppo.
Yeah,
Toppo.
That was a pretty cool twist for me. Like,
okay, I didn't like it. At least on Toppo. But no, I didn't. Well, because let me explain why. I know
well,
they
here,
call
let me
them
see if I can guess why. Because it kind of reminded me about stuff you'd said about Goku having like if they explained like Ultra Instinct as like, oh, I've always had this, but no one knew about it until now.
Okay, that's actually not why, but yes. No.
Oh, all right.
Now it is. No.
Okay, I took my guess.
No, here's what it is for me. It feels like, even though they called them a candidate, so they tried to weasel their way out of it, but it felt like cheating in a way, where it's just like, wait, God of Destructions are allowed? Like, why is Beerus not in here?
Okay, I see. Yeah.
Now, he's a candidate.
Right,
so
he
it's
doesn't
not,
have the title.
No,
so
but
it doesn't
he can
count.
But he can use
he can
the powers.
Yeah. Right, exactly. So it's kind of like, don't you have to have the mantle first before you can start throwing those powers around?
No. That made sense to me because again, it's kind of just adding on to lore where like, oh, of course you have to train them to be gods of destruction. They're not just born like gods of destruction. That's fucking terrifying.
No, but I mean, I feel like it's only like I feel like they only went with it here in the tournament because it's for their ultimate survival. Because I feel like if Toppo just did that against an enemy in their own universe and not within the realm of this tournament, they'd be like, hey, whoa. Like, you can't, you can't do that, right? Because you're not the god of destruction. We already got one. Like, can you not?
No, I get that. I get 100%. It's a thing where, like, again, and I say they, not as in storyline. I mean the writers. I feel like they're trying to squeeze it in like he's a candidate, so it's not illegal. And it's like, guys, come on, really? Really? Like, it's okay because he's just a candidate, but he totally has God of Destruction powers. All right then, Beerus, abdicate your throne. Come on in.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is. Where, like, Goku, yes, he goes God mode, which maybe some would say, well, that's kind of the same thing. But he's not a candidate to be God of Destruction, where he has that power within him. Or he's been training in that art of, I guess, art of destruction. I don't know what the fuck you'd call it, but still.
Yeah.
But you see what I mean, though. He doesn't. He has. It's funny. He can unlock God powers. So apparently, any mortal can unlock godly powers, arguably. But the way, I don't know. Maybe I'm the one that's blinded because Goku has God powers too.
Right.
But
I was gonna say that too. It's like, I guess, like, do we technically, because we got two gods, quote unquote, on our team. Two Super Saiyan gods. Does that count? I don't know. Zeno, where's the rule? Oh, no, wait. He's too busy cheering on, saying, Sugoi! Okay, whatever.
Basically. That's, yeah. Because my whole thing is, I'm not saying that someone can't have God powers, I think. It's just that when you say God of Destruction, you are then pigeonholing it into an area where it feels like it's kind of like, again, against the rules, where it's like, in other words, Goku can be a Super Saiyan God, quote unquote, sure, because that's his, powers or whatever. But if it was him going into, again, God of Destruction territory or other godly territory that he shouldn't be in, unless, because again, if the gods of destruction can be there, they'd all be fighting. Let's be real here.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, come on. If they could be in the tournament, there'd be 2 slots open for Beerus and Whis.
Right.
And they would wreck shop.
Well, I mean, because they've already said that 2 gods of it's against the laws of the universes for gods of destruction to fight because they would rip apart the fabric of everything. I guess maybe that plays into it. But then again, if you had another god of destruction fight against Toppo, or a candidate, don't they technically have the same powers, and wouldn't it cause the same destruction?
Yes, and that's
why we have this in a parallel dimension to begin with?
Yes.
Seeing as how Toppo just blasts a hole into the dimension, and there's nothing there because of the destruction powers?
Yeah, and that's why Goku and Vegeta technically aren't candidates, if you will.
Yeah.
But
and yet
you're right. They
Vegeta
have
can
those.
cancel out destruction energy. Seems like. I mean,
yeah.
unless that's part of his ascended blue form, it's like I can cancel out, destruction energy. That'd be cool. I don't know if that's the way they'd go for it. I think it was just a case of, raw, my power is higher than yours. Raw.
Yes. Yes. Also,
which it's Dragon Ball, so I kind of expected that.
I want to mention, I'm okay with Vegeta surviving because I want him to, right?
No, definitely.
But their explanation was not good.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I thoroughly enjoyed Vegeta and Toppo fighting each other. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the explanation, when I stop and think about it, it doesn't work.
And it's frustrating because they all acted like it was normal. And I'm like, really?
Right.
Not one of you is like, wait a minute. No, because it was just so... And by the way, I'm not talking about the explanation for him beating Toppo. I'm talking about him living. That explanation.
Oh, right. That the attack that he used didn't kill him because he's so much more strong, powerful now that he could encompass that attack and not die from it.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
No, and if anyone's out there, because maybe there are people out there but why doesn't it make sense? What do you mean? He's using all of his power to he's exuding all of his energy out of himself. I guess they're trying to retcon it as it's not a self-destruction. He encompasses himself in the blast because of how large it is. He isn't controlling the radius, yada yada. I thought it was I'm exploding from the inside out. That's not what... But to be fair, even in the games, he would still exist. He would just fall to the floor and be dead.
Well, yeah.
Did he?
Game.
No, I know.
You'd
but,
have 1 HP and you'd fall, and the next attack that hit you, you'd be gone.
I thought you died immediately.
Some versions maybe, but at least what I remember in Tenkaichi 3, you still had 1 hit left in you.
Okay, because I remember it from Budokai 3, I think. It might have been in. But anyway, my point is that I don't think he completely disappeared.
Right.
In fact, he technically turned to stone. Technically, that's supposed to be what happened.
Right. Well, yeah, it always felt to me the same thing. It was a last resort. It was his final attack. Mm-hmm. He put everything he had into it, including his own life energy.
Yes.
And
so
just
it's a bit like
all of it in one final blast.
Yeah, it's a bit
so
like
there was no sense of controlling it. It took him with it.
Because it's a tri-beam cannon, partially.
Yeah, right.
That's the idea.
Same idea. Putting your life energy into the blast. Yeah.
Yes. So the thing is, the reason why, and I'm not saying, by the way, that it's a problem that they retconned it where it's he's actually getting caught up in the blast. It's not like he's throwing it out, because throwing it out means that someone can dodge it. But if it's encompassing everything, and he gets caught into it as well, I don't have a problem with that explanation. My problem comes from the fact that if that was the original idea, it encompasses him as well, that he's using all of his energy. He is as strong as himself. That's why it, quote-unquote, cancels himself out and kills him.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? You are as strong as you, so you exude all of your energy, you kill you.
Yeah.
Yet he did the same thing here. I exude all of my energy. But Vegeta's body is so much stronger that he survived the blast.
Right. No, that's not. Because his powers have also grown along with his body strength exponentially.
You would think, right? Said the god.
Yeah.
Right? Talking to the god.
Yeah, right. I feel like in this case, he didn't expend everything. He held just enough back that it was enough to, take out Toppo, but not, blow himself up, too.
Exactly. Also, I have to say, it's very interesting. I think the only good reason why it was good to give these God of Destruction powers to Toppo was because we had him kind of shift and kind of go against his own moral compass.
Yeah.
in a sense. So maybe some didn't enjoy it, but I thought that was a good twist to his character because it felt like because it felt like he was. It's funny because either you say no, he's moral and just no matter what, which kind of would be the normal Dragon Ball route of like, oh, let's not give him a twist. Let's just say this is who he is and go through with it. Or we kind of inject a little bit of realism here and look at the idea of a character who kind of compensates, if you will, who he's so talking about justice so much, like justice, to the point where you're like, all right, come down with the justice thing, man, because he's trying to be something that he isn't, which is a god of destruction candidate.
Right.
So I think that was a great thing to do with his character. I'm just the only reason why I'm not a fan of it is because like there's some series, there's some shows that when they do certain twists, I can get caught up in the twist. So like there was one, and even though I can still say it was a little weird, one twist that I think I loved to death, if you remember it from Bleach, where it was like, oh, you think I'm number 10? It's not 1 to 10, it's 0 to 9, and I was like, oh shit! Like there's certain twists like that where I'm like, oh my god! But here it just like you said, even though I wasn't thinking of it this way. But it's a great point when you said, not that you were thinking it, but you thought it was my point of, oh, this is a power that I always had, but you guys never knew about it. It was just strange because not even like it was, oh, you thought I was the weakest, but I'm actually the strongest. It was like, oh, I was already super duper strong, but now I'm even stronger. By the way, totally a god of destruction candidate. It's just like, okay, slow your roll down there, buddy. Also, when making him a candidate, it just made him fucking invincible. So it was just so, it was in a way it was so funny where it's just like, nothing can pierce this. What if I go kabloom? I'm sorry, what?
I guess.
I go kabloom.
Kabloom. I still don't understand. Oh no!
Goku, that's the spirit, Vegeta. Onomatopoeia the shit out of him. Blink. You okay?
Vegeta's Batman?
Yes, of course,
and
Vegeta's
Goku,
Batman.
Boy Wonder? Oh,
sure.
God.
But,
I want to see, oh, God, could you imagine that? I want to see a Dragon Ball Z fight, but with onomatopoeia everywhere.
Oh, no.
Oh, God, the screen would be filled. Just like, remember when they'd used instant transmission? Like, think of the Cell Games fight with Goku and Cell.
Ooh,
and when they blur out of existence and their punches collide and you see the shockwave, it's just pow.
You know that's just JoJo, right? That's all you're asking for. You're asking for Sky JoJo.
Okay, fair enough. You're right. We have. You don't see the onomatopoeia on screen. You just hear it. You just hear all of the ora.
No, you see the sound effects. Remember, sometimes.
Sometimes, yes, that's true.
Earlier on, in part 1, a lot of onomatopoeia was on screen.
Okay, you're right. Yeah.
But I don't know if it continues throughout the show. But part 1, it was fucking. Oh, it was there. It was in your face.
Right.
But anyway, back to this 3-parter here that we're talking about. Yeah, so it's just one of those things where I only had a problem. Well, not only, but like I had a problem with Toppo having those destruction powers because it felt like it came out of nowhere, and I wanted, and I have to, this is me being selfish, I wanted those to be on Jiren because I don't know what they're going to say. Like, are they just going to say that Jiren is a god of destruction? Like, oh no, Jiren has surpassed them. Because, and also, by the way, it also felt weird when they said Jiren surpassed.
Jiren will be the angel candidate.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to have to say or something like that.
I would certainly hope so, yeah. But
it's just so strange, I think, where it's just, again, it feels so strange. It's like, oh, well, they're candidates, so it skirts the rules. And it's just like, but not really, though. I feel like there's something weird, like augmented technology about Jiren. Not that he's an android specifically, that he can't tire, but there's something about Jiren that's a bit too much that he's been messed with, or he's been, what's the word? He's been, not hypnotized, but it feels, actually maybe hypnotized. Not hypnotized like, what's it called? Not like you're under my spell, but it feels like he might be hypnotized like, like when Guru like did the whole like whatever, I can't think of the word, but like he put his hand over like Gohan and Krillin's head and like just got out their inner power.
You mean unlocking their hidden potential?
That's what it was. Hidden Potential was the name in the game, yeah, in Budokai and stuff. So yeah, like it feels like someone unlocked his hidden potential or some weird shit like that.
And he lost his mind?
No. That's why I say like hypnotized is a weird word, but like it just feels like someone brought out something in him that it's hard for him to achieve naturally.
Oh,
because
okay,
he just seems very much like he's intense. I'll say that much.
Yeah, well, because it kind of feels like, because he uses the line, "You've attained this level of strength without casting anything aside. I commend you for, stopping Toppo." He even trash talks Toppo like, "I expected more of you." I was like, oh, damn.
I love
even
Goku.
Goku's like, "Hey, how dare you?" and then gets kicked in the face.
That has to be a trope at this point. Like Goku says, "Don't diss your friend," and gets beat up the minute he says it.
Right.
No, because it's Goku Vegeta. That's one. What's another one? I'm sure he probably said it to the Ginyu Force at least once. What else? I feel like he said it before a fair amount of times. I know in the movies, I'm pretty sure he said it in Super Android 13, potentially pre-Ball Punch. I'm pretty sure he said stuff like that to Broly maybe once, which, I mean, we all know how that went. It just feels like he's just like, hey, don't do that to your comrade, gets beaten the fuck up. So, yeah, but it does feel, so something I want to mention, so I don't read the manga much, but I've heard people say that in the manga, Jiren has a little bit of sass to him. He's a little bit more vocal from what I've heard.
That's nice.
The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm wondering if like they're going to start showing that more here, because he really started talking in 126.
Right.
And it wasn't like it was a whole pre-planned monologue or anything, but just the few lines that he said, it was a lot more than warrior sleep.
Yeah, true.
And he started having an attitude to him.
Yeah. Well, because now I think I feel like he's kind of done. It's like, all right, there's 4 minutes left of this shit. There's 3 of you left. I'm getting a little pissy now. You should all be dead by now. How are you all still alive? Well, not alive, but why are you all still in the ring?
I gotta be honest. One of them is gonna have to take it for the team. Like, I don't know about, if I was in their position, the second Jiren would try to punch me, I would bring my power level down to 0.
And his punch is just automatically magnetized to the weakest power level on the stage.
No, you misunderstand.
Okay.
If you're in God form and you're ready to take a hit, and you take that hit and you're fine, if you go base level with 0 power level, what's going to happen to your body from a Jiren hit?
Oh, God.
You're going to die.
Oh, God. So you're basically saying we should take the internet's advice, throw in Yamcha in the Tournament of Power, have him get killed by Jiren, and have him eliminated.
I feel like Yamcha, at this point, will get thrown into the ring, fall, hit his head, get a concussion, and be in the same pose, and just die on the spot.
Oh God.
No,
Yeah.
but no. All jokes aside, I do think, I know it sounds really stupid and no one would do that, but like if in terms of like the story, but practically one of those people is going to have to die to try to get Jiren eliminated via disqualification. It's not actually going to happen, but I'm talking about if this was
it's not
real.
Satisfying.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not. But if this was real, I would look around and be like, really?
Right.
None of us are going to take it for the fine.
Right.
Fine.
If we weren't playing by Dragon Ball rules, like, I would expect that kind of thing too, yeah.
Yeah, but we're playing by Dragon Ball rules, so it has to be like, guys, we're all going to fight together. Jiren's like, are you all idiots? Well, I know that one is. Hey, but are all of you?
Did I finally hit you hard enough where you can't think anymore? Or were you just always like this? Vegeta's just like, nah, he's always been like that.
Oh,
hey!
Oh no, I was gonna say Vegeta puts up a finger. Shut up, Vegeta.
No, it's like, shut up, Vegeta. 17 also starts, not you too.
No. Shut up, 17. You see a little tail from the rubble.
Oh my God.
I will go over there, Frieza.
Oh my God. Oh, that is one thing that I was kind of happy about. Frieza got put in his place. Because that whole moment he had about, like, God of Destruction powers, whatever, I've dealt with that before. I mean, it would have been interesting if they played that up a bit more and he actually did cancel it out. That I feel like that would have been interesting. But
that
also
I didn't
the
like.
fact of just Frieza getting his skull nearly crushed was really cathartic.
Okay. Did I like Frieza getting his skull crushed? A little bit too much. A little bit too. But I still have to.
Nice.
But I have to say to you though, despite me liking that a hell of a lot, I still think he should have bounced back the God of Destruction power. Not to the point where it would hurt Toppo. I'm pretty sure he should have gotten out of the way, tried to do it again, and overwhelmed Frieza. But I think it's really okay. I thought they gave Toppo these powers so that Frieza could then show off, like, I have that ability that the writers gave me. The ability that seemed really weird.
Yeah. Well, because it made me start to think, like, I wonder if Frieza may be in this position one day as well.
What do you mean?
Like, Frieza becoming like, say after the tournament was over and shit, like, him being a candidate.
Nope.
But also having, like, Goku or Vegeta be something else to balance it out, too. Be like, no, I'm going to keep you in check.
I don't think that would ever happen. I think that...
But Goku's never going to take that kind of position.
Well, no, I think
we've had so many try and get Goku to take a position of power that actually has meaning and not just, I'm strong. Like Kami talked to him.
I mean,
like,
you know what
Beerus
it is, man?
Talk to him now.
I don't know, man. I'll say this. I feel like with Goku, it's a little bit like the Doctor in Doctor Who. Like, you never want to see... I mean, you maybe you'd like to hear a story, or, like, because I know, like, there's some stories about the Doctor when he became, quote-unquote, president of Gallifrey.
Oh, true, yeah.
But there are some stories about that, because it did happen in canon, but then he said, it was the fourth Doctor, and he said, but I'm leaving, and he actually left.
Right.
But there are some audio dramas where he is the president, right? But you don't really want to see that full time.
Yeah.
It's a bit different, I think, than like, because sometimes you do have some comic book creators or companies or writers who are like, oh no, we can't have Peter Parker be married to Mary Jane. It makes things complicated, and people don't like to see that complacency and that growth. That I disagree with. That's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, because again, that would be like saying Goku can't get married to Chi-Chi. Like, no, that's fine. But there's a difference between, like, Peter getting married to Mary Jane versus Peter becoming, like, president or mayor. That changes things, and it's really hard for him to be Spider-Man.
Right.
you know, I mean, if we're looking at this in the Dragon Ball perspective, I know it's not canon, but still, it's like when we jump into GT and we see that this version of Trunks is now the CEO of the company.
Right.
It's like, no, man, no.
Yeah.
You know, but getting back into this specifically, yeah, I have no problem with, but actually, no, I want to say to you, I think they would make someone like Vegeta a god of destruction, because I know Beerus is a little off, but I feel like with a god of destruction, they want someone who can destroy, but who isn't exactly bloodthirsty. I mean, it's a little weird with Beerus, with what they did with Beerus, because earlier on, but it felt like he was more disillusioned with it, at least in the movie, where in Super he seemed bloodthirsty, and that was weird. Because if there's one problem I think I'll say about Super overall, is that it feels like they introduce certain plot points that you think they're going to be addressed. And it's not that they have to be addressed the way you want them to be. I know that, you know, because sometimes I understand if people are like, oh, you know, you seem like, you know, me personally, they'll say like, or they'll think, oh, it seems like, Matt, all you care about is it being addressed the way you want it to be, or it coming, you know, turning the way you want it to turn out. And I can understand that criticism of myself. But in this case, it feels like with Beerus, they really built him up to be this like, oh, God, is he going to turn on all of us? And then they never did that at all.
Well, right, because that's how it always, like, that's how new people are usually introduced in Dragon Ball. It's, you're the enemy, but now we won you over with Goku's stunning personality, and you're our friend now. But Beerus being that kind of makes it weird, because he's supposed to be kind of neutral, in a sense, because he is a god of destruction. Well, it's not supposed to be a personal evil thing. It's just
well, it wasn't. Well, here's the thing.
Balance in the universe.
Yeah, no. I mean, even after his arc, his Battle of Gods arc, it felt like there was this like, is Beerus gonna turn on us? And they never addressed that.
Yeah, you're right. I had that feeling too, and it never really came to fruition.
Especially because like Super is ending. Yeah. So there's, you know, a little bit of that. Then of course, you know, we have again, Frieza gets God, you know, the ability to push back, unless their whole point with, you know, is just to make us think what if, right? And maybe that's just what it is. It's just supposed to be what if drama. But it's just a little frustrating because, again, Frieza gets the ability to push back, you know, a God of Destruction's power, essentially. So you're sitting there like, oh, wait, Toppo now has this power. That means that Frieza will push it back. And he doesn't.
Right.
And we're like, oh, I see.
And then Vegeta does, by going raw really, really, really hard. And again,
so what you're
not
saying
that I don't
is,
love that, but at the same time.
So what you're saying is, I beat someone that Frieza couldn't?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
But, yeah. It's, you know, so I'm not here to shit on Super. I'm not here to shit on these 3 episodes because I gotta say to you something that I've been really enjoying these past, I want to say 5 or 8 episodes. These 3 included. The fights are really reminding me of Dragon Ball Z a lot. And I only say that because I feel like every once in a while we'll get some fights that feel like Dragon Ball Z, but but sometimes they'll revert back to Dragon Ball. Nothing wrong with Dragon Ball fights, but you know, they're a different breed, different beast.
Right.
But there were just some moments when we had Dispo and Frieza, or you know, Goku and Vegeta and Jiren, and of course, you know, Toppo in there as well. And it felt good. It felt right. You know, action-packed, really pumped me up. You know, had the blood boiling. And so I want to say, in terms of the fights themselves, I really did enjoy them. And hell, I even enjoyed, that like, even though I don't want to make it seem like, oh, well, they were thinking and that's wrong. No, like it's good that they were thinking, because it's not like it's really weird with DBZ because like I don't want to sit there and be like they never thought about things first. But in some ways, it did feel like with DBZ, it was kind of like, all right, we have a plan, but the plan mostly involves punching and distractions.
Right.
Where here, I mean, yes, it was technically a wait out the time distraction, but I think it was really smart to have 17 just going, we don't get tired, so I'm just going to fucking throw energy beams at you until there's no more minutes left. There's
exactly.
5 of us, because at the time, I don't think, at the time Gohan wasn't out, potentially. There's 5 of us, and
no, he
there's
was
2
out
of
by
you.
that time.
Oh, so there's 4 of us, and there's
then,
2 of you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
they win by default, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because 17, like, I mean, that was before Toppo had unleashed his God of Destruction powers, too. So he's like, if I can just hold it, because he was holding Toppo. He wasn't doing any damage, but he's like, as long as I hold you right here, run out the clock, we good.
Yeah. So
granted, he would have had to do that for 6 minutes, which in this tournament, or even just in a regular fight, just with 2 people, like 6 minutes is a long time.
And in this tournament, it's actually 100
infinite
minutes.
Energy.
I'm kidding. It's 100. No, but
yeah, right.
But seriously though, 6 minutes. It's a hell of a lot, right? It's a hell of a lot to do. But yeah, obviously it wouldn't have worked even if he didn't have a superpower to lean on. But so obviously it wasn't going to work no matter what. But still, a good idea in my opinion because I thought it was a good idea. And it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen next with Jiren, and of course, I'm assuming Frieza is now just kind of waiting in the background to kind of push someone over the edge. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen because I feel like as much as it's so strange because I want Vegeta to last till not the end, but obviously second to last, right? I want that to happen, but I think Vegeta might be next on the chopping block.
I'm gonna disagree. I think 17 is next on the chopping block.
No, 17 should be next. But Vegeta's given up so much of his power, it's going to be even more unbelievable than what's happened so far if Jiren doesn't literally pluck him out. Flick him out.
Because I feel like, at least from the preview that I saw at the end of 126, I feel like 17 is going to be the next one.
Okay. I mean, he probably, the thing is, I'm saying he should be. But I don't know, it's one of those weird situations where, I want him to be, rather, but it just makes more sense.
It makes more sense if Vegeta does because he's so worn out. Granted, Goku has been worn out for God knows how long now, and he's still in it too. So.
Well, it's one of those, remember too, Goku, even though we still say it doesn't make sense, still Goku has had those moments where he's on the floor recovering. This went right from I exploded myself to Jiren being like, I went kabloom, and then Jiren's like, oh, I guess I'm going to fight all of you. And Vegeta's like, could I get a minute to rest? Kakarot got 3.
Yeah.
Could I get 1?
Yeah, Kakarot, you can go lay down. I'll take it from here. No, I'm good.
It's just how it feels, it's just, so yeah,
hey, Vegeta,
I don't know.
You want to go lay down? You know what? Maybe give me 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds to lay here face down in the dirt.
Do you mean half an episode?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, fucking shit. So yeah, I just feel super strange about Vegeta lasting another, unless he just literally goes and lies down. But even then, Frieza also needs a break a little bit.
Well, that's the funny thing. It feels like, because 17 got up out of the rubble, oh, I'm all right, guys. I'm still here. Frieza, we haven't seen him yet. So is he just, laying down on the ground somewhere? I can't believe this is happening to me.
Honestly, yes. Because 17, in my opinion, he's been in a lot of fights with them, but I don't feel like he's had that moment where he's been pushed to his limits.
I mean, we got pretty close with Topo, but...
Yes, but not really, you know? Because you had other people kind of step in to try to get rid of him. Or, obviously, Topo stepping in to be like, I'm going to take Vegeta.
Right.
So, yeah. So it feels like we haven't had that moment with 17. Maybe that's why we get this moment with him and Jiren, and then Jiren's like, nope.
Yeah.
And 17 gets noped the fuck out.
Right. Which, to be fair, that's going to be a really, like, it's Jiren, so I'm hoping that it is a good one, because, I mean, that would kind of bring me back to, like, Hit's send-off. It's like, it took Jiren to send Hit off. Granted, I wish he'd gotten more time, but, yeah, it took Jiren. So at least 17 can be like, you know what? It took Jiren to knock me out of this.
I just have a question to ask you. Do you think, even though 17 is, I feel like for some reason, and maybe I'm just forgetting, maybe I'm just tired, you know, we're recording this kind of late. Do you feel like 17 throughout, like he's gotten a moment with 18, which is good. Like it's not like he hasn't had some moments, but do you think he's really shined?
In this? Or
yes.
Yeah, I think he definitely has.
Okay. I'm not saying he's been the worst, of course. I just feel like I just feel like thinking about everyone. I feel like everyone has had their like big moment, and I feel like 17, like he had that moment with 18, which he should have had, but I feel like he hasn't had this big moment where I'm like, wow, 17, yes. Like I feel like 17 has helped other people.
Right.
But 17 hasn't had that moment where I'm like, 17.
Yeah, I think like he's probably going to get it here.
I hope so, yeah, because but even then it's funny because we say that as he's helping other people. So
true.
No, because that's the thing. I feel like he's helped other people, but I can't think of a moment. Like I know I shouldn't be going to this one, but like
that might
I think
even
of Roshi
be it too. Right.
What?
True. Well, that might be it. Like maybe 17 is going to be the one to buy, you know, Vegeta and even probably Goku that minute to like, okay, you guys lay down in the dirt for a few seconds. I'll hold him off. You just chill there for however long I can last.
I don't know if Tristan, I don't know if 17 can buy them an entire episode, but okay. No, you're right though. I do think it's going to be like I'll do whatever I can.
I can give you half an episode. What the hell does that mean? You'll find out.
Yeah, right. I'll do what I can to take him down. Nope. Just gets kicked in the stomach.
Yeah. Oh God.
Done all I can. Flies.
Jiren's just his face, just a bit like 17 turns around. Jiren's just there. No.
Just 17 got kicked really hard. How hard did it get kicked? Just flies so fucking far. Just literally.
The other half of the arena is gone, and Vegeta, it took you kablooing to do that.
Trunks is just trying to live with Mai in the future, and fucking 17 just falls from the sky, and he's just like, not again. Not again.
Oh, that would be like, hilarious.
Been a while.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Been a while.
Oh, God. That would be hilarious.
I don't know, like, just literally, like, Jiren would fucking kick him into other dimensions.
Right. Oh,
but,
man.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I really, like, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I don't know how much time 17 could actually buy, because like, it's so strange with Jiren, because I know Jiren is so powerful, but, like, it feels like, I don't know, it feels like all four of them, I mean, I get granted they're weakened, and Jiren obviously has taken some hits too, but it feels like they should be able to team up against him, but, I mean, clearly that, you know, Dragon Ball has shown us, Dragon Ball Z has shown us if you're that much
Teamwork.
more powerful as one guy. No, but Nate,
Yeah.
if you're that much more powerful as one guy, you can take on 4 people coming at you from different sides without really
Right.
knowing their fighting techniques. I mean, obviously he knows
Yeah.
Goku's and Vegeta's pretty well, but I mean, he doesn't know much about Frieza and 17, other than potentially watching them fight other people, I guess.
Right.
You could argue that he's been doing that the entire tournament. But no, like, it's going to be, I don't know, it's just going to feel strange to me when it's just like Jiren's attacking all 4 of them at once or holding off all 4 of them at once as if
Right.
it's nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because that's the other thing too. I still don't think we've seen Jiren be serious, and that's the whole
Yeah.
thing. Like now it's kind of like, well, I guess the gloves are coming off, and even then, it's not going to be like he'll say the gloves are coming off, and then they won't actually be. And then Goku will be like, all right, the gloves are coming off. And then they might actually be. And then Jiren will be like, okay, now the gloves are really coming off.
Are you, how, just literally, just how many gloves does this guy own? It's an expression, Kakarot! It's a fucking expression!
Gets punched in the stomach. Oh! Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Just, but yeah, no, it's like, I do want to see where this goes. Like, I'm really intrigued about it.
Yeah.
I just know that I have to cast aside my issues with power levels and stuff like that. Not like numerically, because obviously we're not looking at numbers anymore. We can't. But
yeah, no.
But I have to cast my power level stuff aside. It's just I don't know. Like maybe I've just been blinded all these years, but I truly feel like any time minus Skinny Boo when he first appeared. But once
Right.
they explained the lore, then it made sense. But I think minus Skinny Boo, I don't think it felt like, at least in Dragon Ball Z, that, oh no, this guy has another transformation that we never knew about. Obviously Frieza had a few, but like he explained, oh yes, this isn't my final form. Even though I will admit, as a kid, I was like, how many do you have? With Frieza. And then once it was like, this is my final form, I was like, I don't believe you. I'm like 8. I'm like, I don't believe him. He lied to me once. I don't believe him. But
I mean, even Cell coming back with his Zenkai boost after after he blows himself up the first time.
At least that stupidly made sense because he has all their cells and shit. That's like his gimmick. That's his thing.
Right.
That's
my cells remembered my perfect power, and I came back with my perfect body.
No, he just keeps on saying cells. You know, the interesting thing about having your cells, you just really like saying your name again, don't you? Really like the sound of your own name.
Actually, I do. Cell. Shut up. Vegeta play.
But yeah, so that's how I feel. Like, I know maybe it just seems like, no, everyone had that, Matt. You've just been blinded all these years. But it felt like it was a transformation that was possible, I guess.
Right, yeah. It didn't seem entirely out of left field.
Yeah, you know what?
I don't know what field it's coming from most of the time.
I'll say it like this, actually. Here's what I'll say it like.
Okay.
Toppo's God of Destruction powers are not as out of left field, or at least as implausible as Jiren being like, oh yeah, no, the gloves are off, but not really. And then continuously doing that over and over and over again, or stuff like that. That, to me, is where it just becomes a little bit unreal. And I know we're talking about this show, right? But it's still, that's where it's just like, okay, guys, can we just pump the brakes here a little bit?
Right, yeah.
Too much. So I think that's what I'll say. Yeah.
Either go all out, or chill the fuck out for a minute.
Yes.
Like, decide which one you're going with.
Because I think that's the thing I'll say that Toriyama did right, despite some people maybe, again, saying that, I'm too many excuses here, but I think that he literally would give someone a different form. They would look different. or it would be a different character in the case of Skinny Boo. But like it would be a different form, it would look different, so you can go, okay, this is a literal transformation. Where with Jiren, it just feels like he's like, I'm holding back because I want to have fun, which makes him a bit like Goku in that way, which is, I guess, a good way to kind of put the two of them as, polar opposites.
He doesn't feel like, he doesn't feel like the guy that's like, oh, I'm holding back so I can enjoy this. That seems out of character for Jiren, being completely, sullen and stoic the entire time, and being like, no, your power is nothing compared to mine. It would be weird if he was like, I was holding back so I'd get a challenge out of it.
Well, okay, maybe not fun,
What?
but I think a challenge is a good word, though. Maybe not a smiley like Goku.
Well, because even when he fought with Goku, when he brought out Ultra Instinct, he was like, that was interesting. Still not enough, but interesting.
Yeah, I guess what it is you could argue then he doesn't feel the need to do it because in his head he's just like, I just don't need to. That's all. Just a plain underestimation. But it feels so strange.
That's what it seems like it's going to come to.
Yeah. But it just seems so strange because, again, with minus Frieza's 100%, that was the one that I thought was a bit too much because he didn't really change forms. He just got bulkier. But minus that, it felt like, he kept on having different transformations, like, I'm going to change to look like this, or look like this, or look like this. Heck, normally I like looking, like the original, just in the chair with the horn and the tail, because, hey, I'm pampered. I don't need to do the other ones. I can, but I don't need to. But once, but apparently he was like, no, apparently I do need this, and I need to keep this on at all times because, dear God, everything around me is stronger than me now. That's why he's never went back to that original form, sans when he was reborn again.
Yeah.
Because, wasn't he reborn in his original form? In Resurrection F? Wasn't he brought back to the original form, not to his...
Yes, he was. Yeah, you're right.
That's like the one time. It's like, oh shit, wow, he's back to this one. I'm pretty sure he had the horns. At least in the Super arc, he had the horns because that one we did more recently. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. For me, it just feels like Jiren is holding back so much. It doesn't feel like it's special when he says, "Hey, here's some." That's all it comes down to. It's not. It doesn't feel special when he says, "Hey, here's my." Like, think of it in a video game perspective as well. And I hate to do this to everyone, but like the video games are like. There's so many of them at this point that we have to think of it from that perspective in a sense. When he like, what is it going to be, you versus Jiren, and then Jiren goes, "Here's my not holding back, times 2."
Right.
Here's my like. Does his aura get bigger?
Here's my not holding back times 3. Oh God! Like that sounds like something that would come out of like One Punch, One Punch Man. Just be like, "This is my not holding back times 3." Wait, what?
Can you just imagine his team is like, maybe he should use his not holding back times 20? The God of Destruction, he is using not holding back times 20.
Holding back times 20.
Yeah. So. I got to admit, I really am looking forward to this. I know it sounds like I'm not, everyone, but I really am. This has gotten me very pumped. And it's kind of frustrating because I didn't want this series to end so soon. That's why I said earlier I feel like there's some stuff that hasn't really been addressed that I really wish it would have been. I mean, it can't, there's still some time for some things, but my point is that even though I don't want the series to end, I will admit that it does have me a bit pumped wondering where it's going versus, like, how it's going to end. Versus before, I was like, I wonder what arc is going to be next. And we were going to be like, I do wonder. But now it's just, how is this going to end? Yeah. So I will admit, it might be as long as Super comes back in some way or another in the future. We're not talking about this right now, but as long as it comes back in some way or another in the next 5 years, right? Then I'm okay with it ending right now because I think it's a really good place to end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot better than if it ended at the, even though it was a big arc, it would a lot better than it ending at the Zamasu, Goku Black arc. It was a big arc,
Right, yeah.
but I wasn't the biggest fan of that ending.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know if, again, I don't know if that's the big end, especially when you introduce all these, Universe 6. It's kind of like, well, we want to see more of them. So having this big tournament, I think that's a really, it's really getting me pumped thinking, like, what's going to, again, we know it's Dragon Ball. We know Goku's going to win, but we don't know how. For all we know, Frieza pushes them all over, and then Frieza goes, you know what? I have a heart. All of you will be brought back. Because I want to kill all of you myself.
You myself.
By the way.
Oh, just imagine like Vegeta walking up behind him like, yeah, I used to tell myself the same thing. Now I got a family. He's like, what? Wait, what? No, Vegeta would be like, well, good. Now I get the chance to kill you myself. Finally.
We're going to end the show not on that. We're going to end this episode on my thought. So the ring is, most of the ring is destroyed, I think. That's the way they made it seem, right?
Yep.
Despite the fact it doesn't look like that at all in the previews. Most of the ring is completely destroyed.
We still have half a ring.
I guess so. Frieza has to get to one side from the other. His part is broken off in the vastness of space. He can't fly. You're not allowed to fly unless you have wings. But he has one thing that no one else has. He has a tail. He flies like Tails from fucking Sonic.
So like how Goku did when he fought Tien in the World Tournament? Oh, God.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
He
did that.
Did he do that?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he totally did that.
Shit. It's been
for
a while.
Few seconds. I mean, he also called the Nimbus, and then they're like, you can't do that.
That would be amazing. Just calls the Nimbus. You can't do that. Wow. From the fucking Zenos in the fucking corner. The God Pad thing was amazing. The God Pad, like, we're going to slow this thing down. Wait a minute, it's too fast.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know was meant to just be a one-off joke on, like, our God Pads aren't, I'll get you better God Pads next time.
I will give you a better God Pad next time.
I know it was meant to be a joke, but it came off as like, really? Gods can't follow this? I know, like, not the Zenos, that's fine. But, like, the tech can't follow this?
Grand Priest.
Yeah. Well, he can follow it. The tech can't.
Right, yeah.
He can. He knows what's going on. Yeah. Anyway, so I think we're going to end this here. Is there anything you want to say, Tristan, before we kind of wrap this thing up?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. All right. It's funny. I said, is there anything you want to say? You're like, yes, I do. I think we're good. That's what I want to say. I was like, okay. That's fair. But anyway, so I want to thank you all so much for listening, and as always, if you're watching this on YouTube through our Those Guys on the Radio channel, then please remember to like and subscribe. If you're listening to us through our Blog Talk Radio account, which is blogtalkradio.com/Those Guys on the Radio, thank you so much for listening. There are a bunch of other podcasts with Tristan and I, and a bunch of other folk on this channel or on this page as well. Also, you might be listening to us through our iTunes account, which if you search up Those Guys on iTunes, you can subscribe to us there and get our entire feed of all, like, everything we've ever done, and you can download all those and support us by doing that, because we actually do get a little bit of kickback depending on either if you download or you listen through Blog Talk Radio or through iTunes. So definitely do that if you guys haven't been already. Also want to mention that we have our YouTube, we have our Those Guys on the Radio YouTube channel, where Those Guys on the Radio, you search that up and you find us there. You can also listen to our Keikaku Corner podcast, which is like kind of an anime news. We upload clips daily, like an anime news podcast, and we also do video games and manga and stuff like that as well, and other fun, interesting stories. And we upload stuff daily on our Those Guys on the Radio account. Also, if you jump to our Those Guys Play account, search up Those Guys Play, you can see Tristan and I currently playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai and Dragon Ball Z Infinite World. We've also we've beaten Luigi's Mansion in the past, and we've beaten some other games as well. And it's not just Tristan and I playing on the show either. We're on the channel. We have a bunch of other hosts that come on every once in a while to do do different games and different fun little challenges and stuff like that. And again, you can check it out over at our Those Guys Play YouTube channel. If you want to buy some of our really cool merchandise, you can go over to our main website, which is tgproduction.net/merchandise, or over to our eBay, which is ebay.com/USR/ThoseGuysRadio. And also on our eBay, selling a lot of other cool anime, video game, pro wrestling related merch as well, not just our T-shirts, and also some interesting posters drawn by our very own, hand-drawn by our very own Anthony Sanandris. So you can get that there as well. And also, if you want to help support us, if you don't want to buy merch, which it would be cool if you did, but if you don't want to buy merch, but you still want to support us, you can go over to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/GGProductions, and if you go there, you could actually, depending on what tier you donate to, you can basically say to us, hey, Matt, Tristan, or really Matt at any host, or even Tristan at any host, I want you to do a podcast on your top 5 Dragon Ball Z episodes, or your top 5 Dragon Ball Z movies, or, your top 5, Doctor Who episodes or something like that. And if it's not about podcasts, you could even say, hey, I want you to play this episode of like this game. So you can say, hey, I want you to play an episode of Dragon Ball Z Sagas, and then Tristan and I will hold each other, cry, and we'll film it.
No, I'll jump for joy. Matt will cry.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. So you can really, mix and match hosts and stuff like that. You can also, depending on what tier you donate to, you can actually help us craft different episodes of Keikaku Corner as well. And you can even be a sponsor on certain episodes of either Keikaku Corner, Those Guys on the Radio, or Those Guys Play. Again, depends on what tier you donate to. And even if you don't donate to any of the tiers, we just want to thank you all so much for supporting us by listening in, by watching our stuff, and just kind of being a part of what we do here. So that's all I have to say. Want to add also, though, if you want to follow us, if you're subscribed, great. But if you want to follow us and just kind of get any, just updates on what we're doing on any of our 3 channels, because we also have TG Productions as well, where we do fun little skits there like Dub Smack, where actually I do, it's a fan dub of HK subs. So far, the first episode of Dub Smack that we have up is an HK sub of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi versus Kaiba, the Battle City Finals, and it's the script read verbatim fan dub. It's really fucking weird. I love it. And I know I'm biased, but I love it. You guys definitely should check that out over at our TG Productions YouTube channel. You can search that up. Or if you don't want to search up all this stuff, all you have to do is go to our Twitter, which is @ThoseGuysRadio, or our Facebook, which obviously Facebook.com/ThoseGuysOnTheRadio, and you can just follow all of our new posts and updates and episodes through there. So you can do that as well. And, of course, I mentioned our website way earlier with our merchandise, which is tgproduction.net, where you can also follow all of our, new episodes and stuff like that through there as well. All right, so that wraps up everything. Thank you all so much for listening in. Tristan, what were you going to chime in with? You
Raw?
sounded like you were about to jump in. Raw? Okay, Raw. All right.
I'm going to go kablooey, Matt. I'm buying you time.
All right, that's fair enough. Okay, guys, thank you all so much. Love you all. Take care. Good night, and tune in next week for Not Super. We'll be doing something completely different. So, see ya.